Holy shit. Check this out. This is why crypto is going to win. I'm going to give you a completely different lens that I don't see anybody talking about. There's three key factors that I'm going to bring up to you guys today. I'm going to share with you how I look at this. This is why I don't get fudded out. You have to understand macro and microeconomics and build competency, which builds confidence. Because if you don't have competency, you won't have confidence and you're going to get fudded out of these markets. You know how a caterpillar becomes a butterfly and inside the cocoon, it goes through a violent process to become a butterfly? We're in that violent process right now. And you think the distractions are big? They're going to become massive because the only way a new system comes in is through world wars and currency devaluation, and credit crisis. We have all three happening right now. So cryptocurrency is here to stay. You have to decide which ones will survive, and I'll share with you what I believe on the back end. Now remember, this is just my opinion. Do your own research. I'm just sharing with you what I do. So the first factor I want you to understand, I want you to go to the US Bureau of Statistics website, look at their currency calculator. I told you guys February 20th, 2026 was the shift into the new reality of money. From 1988 to 2026, February 20th, 2026, check this out. If you made $100,000 in 1988, it will take you in today's money, today's valuation of the US dollar, $285,000 and sorry, let me read that again. I'm reading it. $285,000. So $100,000 in 1988 takes now $285,000. That's how much your money has inflated and devalued. That's inflation. Let me show you what it looks like on a physical chart. So this is 1988. Wham! 2026. Now, the fact is, productivity has increased, but our wages haven't increased based on productivity. Assets have increased dramatically, but your wages haven't increased to be able to purchase those assets. So the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer. And the middle class is getting squeezed, and we're moving into a K-shaped economy where they'll be very wealthy and the working class. The middle class was socially engineered after World War II. So the next chart I'm going to show you should be alarming to you. So our currency has completely devalued since 1988, since 1913, 96 and 97%. Our productivity has gone up, but our wages haven't increased to keep up with assets. And here's what the debt looks like in America. So this is a total debt. Look at this. 2004, boom. 2024, this isn't even 26. America's at 39 trillion, almost 40 trillion in debt. Americans have 1 trillion in credit card debt, the highest in history, and credit cards are maxed and savings are drained. So that's all negative, right? Well, the positive is a new system has to come in. It's not by chance that they created a Bitcoin strategic reserve, a stablecoin act called the Genius Act, and they're working to pass the Clarity Act. The Clarity Act will give banks clear rules of the road on how to operate in crypto. The Stablecoin Act gave stablecoin clarity. We have USD1, that's World Liberty Financial, Trump stablecoin. You have USDC, which is Circle, which is connected to BlackRock. Watch my videos. I share all this stuff with you guys. USAT, which is Tether, which runs 90% of the stablecoin market, which Bo Hines stepped down, the executive director for digital assets, and brought it into America. So now America dominates the stablecoin market. Now, what is a stablecoin? It's balanced 1-to-1 to US dollar. It's balanced out by US treasuries, short-term treasuries, which that saved the treasury market from collapsing. Stablecoins are growing dramatically and fast. Stablecoins operate outside the centralized system, the old centralized system, centralized bank, moving into a decentralized, fragmented system where you are the bank, peer-to-peer, but they caught us on the back end. Good, bad, or indifferent. The good news is they're coming in and trillions of dollars are going to come into crypto. So every single country around the world will have a stablecoin. And here's where crypto comes in. That is a stablecoin, but you also need to move that value across tons of different stablecoins. Well, you're going to need technologies like XRP to move that value. You're also going to need an alternative store of value, which is something like Bitcoin that's 21 million fixed supply, cannot be changed. It's the most scarce asset in the world. Only 5% of the supply is left. They only mine it for 116 years. Interesting. Fiat systems usually last about 100 years. Bitcoin was created in 2009, right after the biggest financial collapse that we've ever experienced, our housing collapse. And now we're sitting on a private credit time bomb and an AI bubble. And the Straits of Hormuz are closed down, which is causing a energy pandemic around the world. We have World War II forming and a credit crisis. Sounds like a new system is coming in. Study World War II. What happened after World War II? Bretton Woods. We became the world's reserve currency, the gold-backed standard, IMF, Bank of International Settlements. Guys, you got to understand history. That's why I have the #1 selling book right now. It's #1 in 5 categories in economics. I literally teach you the game. the American nightmare, how inflation, debt, and banks hijacked the American dream. I understand this stuff at a deep level, okay? That's why I'm not emotional. That's why I hold the line and I'm stoic. Guys, this is just a cycle. It's nothing new under the sun. You're moving into a new system. Straits of Hormuz, you need to pay attention, like laser focused on what happens there. The longer this stays closed, the bigger energy crisis we're going to have. And the more we'll need a savior. We'll need liquidity. We'll need a new system. Or it'll push in things like electric cars. I'm not saying this is good, bad, or indifferent. This is what's coming. AI technology. AI cannot operate without crypto. Your job is to figure out which cryptos will survive. I would stay in the top 4. XRP's 43% of my portfolio and Bitcoin's 40%. Also hold XLM, HBAR, VeChain, Solana. I still hold WFI. I'm not selling it. That's it. That's all I hold. I'm diversified across cash value life insurance. That's my family bank, my protection. I have precious metals. I have companies for cash flow and my badass dividend stock portfolio that creates cash flow while I sleep. Cash flow is a lifeblood that allows me to keep the family going when the markets collapse and I buy everybody's fear to increase my asset base and then feed the machine. I de-risk, de-risk, de-risk every single time a market cycle comes. That's how winning is done. So crypto ain't going nowhere. You will because of lack of patience and lack of competency, because lack of confidence, because you don't have the resilience and the persistence. You need to develop that. You develop that by studying and building competency and confidence in the assets you hold. Because if you have competence and competency, in red you'll buy, in green you'll sell. And then you'll repeat the process when everybody's running because they're panic selling. So check out my book. It is #1 for a reason, because it teaches people the truth. And the truth is the system's always been the system and it's fucking ruthless and it doesn't care about you. So you better care about you and build a system. Love you guys. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Love you.